Where am I at with the tribunal? Should I get back to that question? I am waiting to hear when the date will be. We've been over this case. I mean, it goes a long way, as you've seen. I've dealt with it for so long. And, I will go before the wsib board, which seems really ridiculous. And they will listen and ask questions and probe me. And I will be traumatized. And I say I will be traumatized in that it always gives nightmares. It's not a pleasant experience. Even if they try to be nice about it, and I can talk about it right now like this, it's very different when you're being questioned and you're going back there, and it's not good. It's not healthy, and I've had to do it a lot, and I just want it to be done. Especially when they're not going to give it to me, when I'm going through all this, and I've been through so much. For what? You know? It just, you know, they want to put it on childhood, which I can't deny that things happen in childhood, but for many of us, things happen in childhood, and I was a functioning adult prior to my injury. I held down a full-time job and even had a position and with the company as a quality auditor and as a union rep, and I published a paper, and I was weird and wacky and outgoing. I've still got some qualities, but obviously the things that developed, they just want to put on childhood and not take any blame between the 2000 and 2005 when they could have removed me from the factory a lot sooner than they did. Anyway, it doesn't matter because life continues on. It does matter though. I understand people's anger who are going through this system, who are suffering financially. I don't talk about my finances here because it's humiliating. And at the same time, I'm just trying to be grateful for everything that I have still. If I just focus on the losses or the things that have happened because or related to this ongoing case, I would be even worse off than I am now. And the point is that while they can use that against me, every time I've gone outside, every time I've tried to live a life, I want to choose not to regret that, because if I waited all these years for them to save me, or for me to keep trying, I wouldn't have made it this far. So, the tribunal, it could be soon. It could be later. I wanted it to happen before my birthday in July so that I could start a new year without the claim anymore. But I have a feeling that even if I do get the tribunal before July, I won't get a decision before July. And I haven't heard anything yet, and it's April. It's just sort of it's distressing that it continues on, but it's soon going to come to an end. Did I want to win? Yes. Back pay to 2007? Yes, please. Another chance? Yes, please. Financial stability, some dignity, and more psychological help? Yes, please. But it's just something I've accepted that's probably not going to happen. Still, I'm going to see it to the end. And just hope that nobody else, well, other people are going through it, but just that somehow my story eventually will get out there, and either other people will learn what not to do, or they'll be able to relate to it, or they'll have a better understanding of what it's like. So that tribunal could happen anytime. I'm just hoping it doesn't happen around my birthday and ruin my birthday. You know, I don't want to be a worse mess on my birthday. Please at least let me enjoy the street jazz festival on my birthday. But as with anything regarding wsib, you do not have a say. You do not have any control. That's one of the hardest parts has been waiting. That's been the worst part. And the feeling of no control over your life. And so you grasp at it in different aspects of your life. I mean, financially it's devastating for, I imagine, families, but for single people alike. I admire, you know, you get to a point where you're not even described as an injured worker anymore. You've been cast out by the company, by the union you participated in, by your coworkers. They're so far away from your experience now, and you're just sort of adrift. You're not anything. You're nothing except somebody who's been dealing with tribunal, and it makes people wonder when the fight's gone on so long. They wonder, well, how come, there's been no resolution in your case yet? I think I've been through relationships and lovers who expected a resolution because I did, and yeah, it's just amazing what can happen in the span of time. I'm older now, 10 years older. Wow, trying to answer this question took me a long time. I just want to give a little insight into what it can be like to go through this. It doesn't really help you, probably. I wish I could give you a hopeful message. Maybe things will be better for you if you're going through this. Maybe you'll have a good lawyer or good representation, or maybe your case is not psychological, or maybe the path will be cleared and there'll be better things. Maybe they won't have any evidence of childhood stuff to be able to hold against you, and they'll have no choice but to go, oh yeah, okay, we'll admit this was our fault. I don't know, maybe things will be better for you. I hope so, because it's not been good for me. But I think one thing that's been positive, well, I don't know about positive, one thing that's been good for me, I don't call it giving up, because if I'd given up, I wouldn't still have representation and say, yes, let's go to the end of it, let's proceed to let's follow through. But I think one positive thing is that I no longer entertain the idea of a winning outcome, of being saved, of any of that. It's almost freeing. I'm not quite there yet, because until it's over, part of me will still hold on to the hope that there is justice and goodness in the world, and that somebody will look at it and go, oh yeah, yeah, we should, there's still, we should do the right thing. And I give this woman, who was a girl when this started, she's still got time. Let's give her a chance. Let's give her, you know, we can never compensate her for everything she's been through, but we can prevent some further indignities to her by granting her a fraction of what we owe her. But we're dealing with a corporate sponsored bureaucracy, so do they really care about people? Not so much. In fact, many of them are paid to go against facts, human sentiment, paperwork that's documented. They're paid quite a lot. They're paid more than I have earned in the past several years. In 1 year, they're paid to write a report that goes against facts, factual documentation. So I just want it over with. So how about that tribunal? I'll let you know when it happens. I'll let you know. And there'll be a waiting time in between, like I said, between that and the decision. I'll let you know when it's over. I know, in my head I just said, but will it ever be over? The skin thing will never go away if I am exposed to the chemical, which I have been in previous jobs or in certain environments. I will have flare-ups. Mentally, that's not going away yet, and I do not have the money or the help for the care that I could use to help work on that to make me better. So it's really difficult. So I try to live a life online that when I'm online, you know, post positive stuff or share the good stuff, which looks like a lot of stuff is good. And I keep the other stuff to my paper journals. I don't even know if anybody's gone through this like me. I know people have their own struggles and frustrations, and I've learned that a lot more in recent times with Twitter and the few wsib videos that are up. I've seen such anger and frustration by other injured workers. I'm someone who's experienced it from teenagehood naivety, working through it, with it, you know, bandaging my bloody hands a common part of my job, you know, look at me, I'm a good worker, to falling apart mentally in front of coworkers, to being at home and suicidal, to getting out of there, to having the second chance and so-called blowing it, but it's really just a factor of I wasn't mentally ready, and to where I am now, you know, still at this stage. So covering a span, like I said, I'm turning 34 soon, and I was about 2000. So born in 78, 2000 was when I was finally brought back into the factory, or I was put out, I forget, the first time to heal from my hands. Yeah, you do the math, because I'm too tired. And math was never my strong suit. I guess, despite it all, I've tried to make my life more than just this case. But I think anyone who's gone through this knows that it's a big part of your life. Whether you've tried to not make it or a part of your life or not. When it affects you psychologically, physically, financially, and socially, I mean, go from a worker, you know, esteemed enough that people have a certain level of respect for you, to someone who's this sort of, to what I am now. It's devastating. And so, what advice do I have in closing remarks with this big video? Documentation. Whether it'll do you any good or not. At the end of it all, you can burn it. Burn it all. Have a cleansing ceremony somewhere and burn it and let it go. Safely, but still. That's a concept, an idea. Like saying goodbye to a bad lover. I would say, regardless of it all, even on the bad days where you slept it all through, but on the good days, or on the moments that are okay, remember who you are, that they can't destroy it. Even if you felt like they destroyed you, that part of your spirit is still there. So take a moment and do what you love, or discover what you love. You should, because it's your life in the end. It's your life still. They made it feel like it's not, and to a degree they've made it not, but in the end it is your life. And so take those pictures, paint that stuff, make that art, read those books, write that stuff. Do whatever it is to make the moments that you can mean something, because when so much has been taken away from you and you've been told who you are or who you're not through multiple assessments, and people are controlling so much of that part of you that was supposed to be in society and functioning, and now you're not. You're adrift. Just find that. I think the blessing in it is that you have a lot of time to reflect, which can be dangerous. But the blessing is if you turn into something where you find out who you really are, and you hold on to the good parts, and you try and go with that. You're probably a better person than you were than when you were naively believing in somebody else's concept of reality. That sounded all crazy talk, but I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, I wish things had been easier, and I'm really sorry about how this has affected my life in many ways and people that I've loved. But at the same time, I know who I am, and now and then I'm pretty proud of myself, despite my crumbled self-esteem, that I can see beauty in the world, that I can appreciate things, that I have empathy and understanding for things that I never would have had I not gone through this. This is not a thank you to wsib. They didn't do this for me. It is me who decided to try and hold on. Because if it were up to them, I just wouldn't exist anymore. Neither would all this.